When you think of the University of Miami, you probably picture that big-name private university down in sunny Coral Gables, Florida. Now, most college tours give you the glossy, picture-perfect version, but today we're going to do something a little different. We're using the university's own public reports to give you a really transparent look at what life there is actually like.
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with a quick overview and touch on what we can about admissions. But here's the thing. Our main source for this is university's annual security report, and that gives us its rare and credible chance to do a super deep dive into campus safety, so that's where we're really going to focus our time.
All right, first things first. The University of Miami is a private research university located in Coral Gables, Florida. It's a huge deal, known for its top-notch academic programs and, of course, that vibrant South Florida atmosphere.
And believe me, they have got some serious bragging rights in the academic world. I mean, just look at this. According to their own reports, the School of Communications, Journalism, and Media Management programs have shot up into the top 1.1% in the entire country. That really establishes them as a major player in that field.
Okay, let's talk about the two things that are probably top of mind for pretty much everyone: getting in and paying for it.
So, the first big question, right? How tough is it to actually get accepted? We're talking about acceptance rates, what kind of GPA you need, the whole deal with test scores. And this is where we have to be super upfront with you, because our source is that annual security report. It just doesn't have that specific data, things like acceptance rates or average GPAs. Okay, so what about the other big one, the cost? What's the sticker price? And maybe more importantly, what kind of financial aid can you actually get? And yeah, you guessed it. Because of our source, the Annual Security and Fire Safety Report, we hit the same wall. All those nitty-gritty details about tuition, scholarships, and student debt, they're just not in this particular document. So, with that in mind, let's pivot to what this report does give us an incredible look at. All right, so let's shift gears and talk about the campus environment. While we don't have those specific admission stats, the safety report gives us this fascinating look into the physical layout of the university, which, as you'll see, is pretty crucial for understanding how the whole place works. So here's something you might not realize. The University of Miami isn't just one spot. It's spread out. You've got the main Coral Gables campus, and it has its own state-certified police department. But then you have the medical and marine campuses, and they have totally different setups, relying on a mix of their own security and the city or county police. This is a really key detail that perfectly sets the stage for our deep dive into safety.
And this brings us to the main event, really, the deep dive into safety and security. This is where our source material is just incredibly rich. We get this rare, super transparent look into the university's infrastructure, their policies, and exactly how they do things.
So, let's start with the university's official philosophy on this. They make it clear that they're dedicated to providing a safe environment. But, and this is important, they also emphasize that safety is a shared responsibility. It's a partnership between the school and every single person in the community.
Now, you might be wondering, how do we even have access to all this stuff? Well, there's a reason. It's a federal law called the Clery Act. It basically requires any university that gets federal funding to publish a report every single year that discloses campus crime stats and security policies. So this level of transparency, it isn't just nice to have, it's the law.
Okay, this slide is a perfect example of what we were just talking about. On the main Coral Gables campus, you've got the UMPD. These are state-certified police officers with full arrest powers. But over on the medical campus, it's different. They use public safety officers who don't have arrest powers, and they work really closely with the City of Miami Police. Both have tools like those blue light emergency phones, but you can see the core structure is very distinct.
And the report doesn't just skim the surface. It gets super specific on really important policies. Take the definition of consent, for example. The university uses 3 key words: intelligent, knowing, and voluntary. And they state very explicitly that consent cannot be given by someone who's intoxicated or incapacitated in any way. This isn't some vague guideline, it's a very strict, very clear rule.
And if an incident is reported, the university doesn't just wing it. They have a very clear step-by-step process in place. From the moment it's reported all the way to the final outcome and any appeals, there's a structured system designed to provide support and investigate the complaint properly. It really shows a deep commitment to procedure.
All right, part of the Clery Act means showing the actual numbers. This table right here gives you a snapshot of reported crimes on the main Coral Gables campus for the most recent year. You can see the statistics for serious offenses and for property crimes.
This is the raw data presented for full transparency.
You know, safety isn't just about reacting to crime, it's also about preventing other dangers, like fire. The university has a really strict fire safety policy, and this list of things you can't have in university facilities is pretty extensive. We're talking everything from candles and incense to halogen lamps and even live Christmas trees. The goal is clearly to get ahead of any potential fire hazards.
If you want personalized help saving $40,000 or more on college costs, check the link in the description to learn about our College Savings Mentor program.
Okay, so we've gone through a ton of detail. What does it all mean for you as a prospective student? Let's try to boil it all down into some simple pros and cons.
And this really lays out the trade-offs, doesn't it? On the plus side, the transparency around safety is just exceptional. They have a comprehensive security system and really clear procedures for victims. But on the downside, this particular report leaves us with big gaps on cost and admissions info. And while the urban setting is a huge draw, it does come with its own safety challenges, and juggling those different police jurisdictions could be confusing.
All right, so after all that, who is the University of Miami really for? Based on everything we've looked at today, who is the ideal student for this environment?
Well, the ideal student here is probably someone who really truly values a university being upfront about campus safety. They're looking for strong support systems in a big, dynamic city, and they're drawn to a school that has proven, top-ranked programs in specific fields like communication.
And that leaves us with a final question to think about. We usually judge schools on things like acceptance rates and rankings, but does a university's deep, proven investment in safety and transparency maybe outweigh some of those more traditional metrics? It's definitely something to think about. That does it for this segment. Thanks for listening to our brief podcast. If you want to learn how to avoid student loan debt, we have a roadmap in our College Savings Mentor Guide that can show you step-by-step how to save $40,000 or more on tuition. Check the link in the description and be sure to listen to more of our college deep dives.